that new whip. Hey, who did it do drip?
And we're live.
Welcome to BETT Records, where we talk about hot topics, ideas, and all the shit you really want to hear.
What is going on, BETT Records? We are now live. We are back again after a week off. Did some TikTok challenge videos. If you haven't seen those yet, check them out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. They're everywhere. We were back with the normal queue. Josh is not here, except for him. But we're back here with Q-Tip and Justin and brought the twins, Noah and Nico. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Of course, of course. What do you? Let's just start first off. What are you guys still doing in St. Cloud? What are you guys doing in here?
Struggling to survive. It's a cutthroat world over here. No, I'm finishing up college. So
How long you got
cool.
left, Noah?
I graduate at the end of the semester. So
Perfect.
getting a job and then I'm doing everything a college student's supposed to. How about you?
Yep. I'm Nico.
Hi, Nico.
Hi, Nico.
I just got back from deployment and was supposed to be graduating with him, but I'm not now because I had to take, stupid vacation. And so now I'm just back. I'm going to do summer courses, looking for a job, stuff like that.
Those of you who don't know, the Pusateri twins went back to their stomping ground, Italia. Where it all originated for them and for me as well.
In the land of our people.
So, have you guys been there before?
No.
No? So, first time?
Yeah.
Okay. First off, how was flight there and back? Did you guys have to do COVID tests?
We did have to do COVID tests, but the problem with that was if you guys are ever going to Europe or France or whatever, don't fly AirFrance. Please don't do it, because they're going to make you do all this crazy, wacky crap.
Like what, touch your head and pat your elbow or something?
We got patted down there and back for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
They made us go through all these protocols, but once we got there, the second they found out we were American, they automatically assumed we were vaccinated, so we didn't have to prove vaccination anyway. They're like, oh, you're American, you're fine, it's okay.
Weird.
But yeah, they didn't hardly ever speak English at AirFrance.
You're missing the even big one. When you go to check in for your flight, before you leave and to confirm it and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't show
up early. They have a scheduled block period.
Like a window.
A window for the
You
entire.
only have 2 hours for the entire Air France, all of Air France. You only have 2 hours to get checked in. It's not even just for our flight; it's for other flights scheduled at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So 3,
Anyone
4,
departing in between 3 and 3:20 p.m.
all
or
has
something.
to do it within the 2 hours they set for you. So we are just scrambling to get through customs and make it to our flight, and we only had an hour layover. So we ended up getting stuck in France for 13 hours.
Something like that.
Yeah, so we ended up going to visit the Eiffel Tower for a couple hours and stuff so it wasn't bad.
Whatever,
it was super
but
nice,
yeah.
But it just
I got a crepe.
yeah, did get a crepe. I got a Nutella-filled crepe. It was nuts. Had bananas and stuff in it. Yeah, it was weird. They love Nutella over there. I don't get it. And they love Americans. It's probably because we won them a couple of world wars, but that's besides the point.
I'm disappointed you guys didn't get an escargot over there, too.
That was not actually...
Somewhat?
that's not super
snails.
popular. Yeah, snails. It's not
So
super
in France,
popular.
no, he's talking about in France.
Oh, in France?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we didn't have enough time. We just were subjected to weird sandwiches in the airport, and they love Heineken, so I was forced to drink Heineken. But
no, their Heineken's awesome.
Yeah, their Heineken's pretty dope.
I was going to say, all those domestic beers taste 10 times better over there.
Oh,
Yeah, you ever had Peroni in the States?
A what?
Never even
A
heard of it.
Peroni. Okay.
Oh, the Italian beer?
Yeah,
I've
the
heard of
Peroni
that.
in the States is garbage, but we had it over there, and my dad was like, "It's actually fire," and I was like,
really good.
"There's
Tap or
no
bottle?
way."
Tap.
Both. We had
both,
both tap and bottle, and they were both great, and I was like, I didn't expect
I
that.
feel like the bottle wouldn't taste that different, though.
Well,
it
because
isn't a
it's-
bottle.
Well, it's
after all.
produced there. Every time you get a bottle of beer, wine, anything, it's normally locally sourced. So it's always fresh, made that season, and it was a really awesome experience. I never had a bad meal there.
So in France for roughly 7 hours, something like that?
Yeah, well,
And-
13 really. But
Yeah.
And how long of a flight to Rome? Is that where you
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
2 hours
yeah.
from
No.
France.
One thing I've always heard about Europe is that it's a lot smaller than you think. Getting across one country only takes 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
did.
he can tell you about that. The story about that.
We were just kind of a tour all around the entire country of Italy.
Well, and then the guy you talked to on deployment when you're talking about going to university and stuff like that. The trip.
Oh shoot, yeah. I was talking to a guy and he's like, "Oh, where are you from in the States?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from Wisconsin and I'm going to University of Minnesota. It's in the north part." he goes, "Oh, okay. Like, how far of a drive is that? Like 2-3 hours?" I'm like, it's like a 6-hour drive. He's like, "Are you kidding?" Like, it's this Irish dude, right? Because we're just chilling there drinking Heineken at a bar in Paris, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I can drive like the width of Ireland in like less time than that."
Ireland's tiny.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Still though.
But like a long trip to them is like a 2-hour drive. Like they think like that's crazy and stuff. But like if I had to drive 2 hours to get to college, that'd be super.
Well,
fun
how
with
big
that.
is Ireland in comparison to like a state?
Ireland, I would say, is maybe the size of Connecticut.
Okay.
No, it's bigger.
It's a little-
It's
a little
gotta be
bigger?
Like Minnesota?
like
I
a
don't know.
Michigan,
No,
Minnesota
it's
size.
Not Minnesota size.
Well, you know what?
I'm
Like,
re-
you
I'm
got a beautiful
reading-
thing called Google.
I'm
so-
reading that Ireland is around the same size as Maine. And Maine is approximately
Okay.
79 square kilometers, and Ireland is approximately 70 square kilometers,
Alright.
7,000.
But besides
okay,
that,
well, yeah.
so you
Interesting.
touch down in Rome. What time is it there local?
It's a 6-hour time difference, so we touched down around. What was it, like 2, 3?
We
No, it was late. It was dark.
It was
oh my
late,
gosh,
yeah.
It was like 6 o'clock. So yeah, it was like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it was like getting dark and stuff. And by the time we got out to the, like to our Uber and stuff, it was almost 8:30. So it would have been around like 2:30 here, stuff like that. So
Did you go to sleep that night?
no, like I
did.
didn't sleep at all on the plane. They had like a bunch of free movies like on AirFrance and
I
stuff.
would
so, like,
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so it was like a
long flight.
10-hour flight
Jeez.
from Chicago to France. So I watched a bunch of movies, and I didn't sleep from, like from Chicago all the way to France, and I didn't sleep the 13 hours we were there at the airport.
Damn.
Because we were always moving around and stuff, and so like the second we got on the flight to go to Rome, I was knocked out, and it was like I snapped my fingers and I was in Rome. I felt so awful when I woke up. I was up the whole thing. Like for me, that was my second flight to Europe in like less than a month.
True.
Because I had just went from. We had stayed in Germany. We got stuck there for 2 days. It was supposed to be like we went from Kuwait to Germany and then like right onto our next flight to the States. And we ended up getting laid over in Germany for 2 days. Not the worst thing that could happen. I had so much fun. And then we left, and then a month later we're like, all right, we're turning around, we're doing it again. So I'm like, all right, here we go again. Except with the added stupid stuff that I didn't have to go through with the government. But yeah.
So I will say, I was keeping up with your social media a lot. The coolest thing I saw on your story was
Yeah.
the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
The pit
Oh, yeah.
right up there.
Yeah.
And I was looking at
St.
it for
Peter's
a good,
Basilica.
for a good
Yeah.
2 minutes. I'm like, somebody hand painted this.
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
It was
See,
like
it was Michelangelo. I was saying
Yeah,
that to
it was
someone, like, I think
Michelangelo.
it was Michelangelo, and they're like, no, it was Da Vinci. I'm like, it definitely was
No.
long before Da Vinci.
yeah. No, that was like the craziest thing. That was like their attention to detail. Everything had like some sort of like past impact that like they used to design everything. Even in modern times, they use like the same build methods, paint methods, all that kind of stuff. And not that I don't like the United States, I love it here. But like, there's just so much history in Italy and stuff that
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't have. Yeah, there was
Like,
like,
oh, yeah.
monuments and Yeah. plaques and
Oh,
all the things entire like city that. of Rome is built around all of their Ancient Rome. It is built around ancient Rome. So like the Colosseum is still there. Like the original city, like their treasury, like their parliament. It's like the entire city is built around all and that old dudes just stuff. walk around it. Yeah. Like, there's like markets. There's the University of Rome right there by Places of St. work. Peter's. Yeah, they just go to school and go to work. Like, You walk by it every the single day. Colosseum.
And
yeah.
for them, it's always been there.
Right,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You walk by it every single day, and I'm looking at this for the first time, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it's
how
nuts.
could you get tired of this? And it's
Yeah.
huge. It's massive.
And to think that city was only built in a day.
Be quiet.
Oh,
That's what I said. I got there and I was like, "There's no way this was built in a day. That's
That was a lie,
crazy."
bro.
No shit. Fibbing us.
I also liked the Leaning Tower of Pisa, too.
Oh yeah.
I think, did I say it to you? I wish that you took like a funny picture and like laid
Laid it
down in
between my
front of
legs.
it.
Yeah.
We
See,
tried
I
to,
wanted to do that, but see, then I I hang also to the right, so I want. So yeah, I
Go
wanted
around to the other side.
right. Yeah,
Right,
I wanted to
exactly.
do that super bad, but I also was like, well, I don't want to fit like the standard American stereotype and just have a bunch of like foreigners looking at us like, yeah, that's American right there.
Yep.
American. So-
It's funny that you say that because I actually said to Josh one time, so in America we have like, we do impressions of like Mexicans, Chinese, Russians. What do you think in Europe their American impression is?
Oh,
Hi,
I
can I
can
get a McDouble with extra pickles and a large
No.
Coca-Cola?
A number 9 large, a number
Sounds
6 with
pretty
extra
good.
dip. I was talking to one of our bus drivers, right? He was from Rome and whatever, and he got to talking to us because one of the ladies said our last name, which is just screams Italian, right?
Right.
And so he comes up and talks. So he's like, "You guys Italian?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I have Italian hair, blah blah blah, whatever." He's like, "Oh, it's super cool to like, be talking to you guys and hear about the States or whatever." And then we got into it. I was like, "Can you give us your best like American impression?" Right? He's like, "Oh, I am just here for some fried ice cream and fried cheese."
And then he ended it with howdy partner.
Howdy
And I was
partner.
like,
Yeah.
we don't all talk like that. We don't do that.
That's one state in particular, and that's its own different culture.
Yeah, like
That's
everyone.
its own state. Some
Yeah,
days.
everyone over there expects us to have like these like thick southern draws, and we howdy partner everybody. We come talking about stomping boots and driving trucks and all that kind of. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, that is like a select few people. So that was really funny that they just kind of expect us to sound like old western like marshals and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Since we're in stereotypes, was there a lot of people with their chest hair exposed?
No,
No.
God, no. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
no.
their fashion is just absolutely insane. I bought a suit from there. Tommy Hilfiger, don't mean to flex or nothing.
That's a nice suit.
Yeah, it's
Some
a
Tommy
great
for your
suit.
mommy.
That's a sick suit.
Yeah, no, like I bought this suit that was there just because I love the sense of their fashion. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in a sweatshirt and joggers, but
Yeah.
but like
Backwards hat.
backwards hat. Yeah, I do take like a great amount of care in how I present myself, and so do they. Like if you look like trash, you don't wear like a button up collared shirt every single day, you will get like just evilly stared at for not looking good. Like people are wearing like full suits all the time, like business casual dress clothes, like long.
Just to go get a coffee.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
oh
like
yeah.
shorts
Really?
don't
Go get
exist.
espresso,
Sweatpants, sweatshirts, none of that exists.
Is it hotter? That's probably a dumb question,
Definitely
but is it hotter there the minute like it doesn't snow there, right?
It
Does it?
Up north,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But like it rarely rains, and like he said, like when it rains, like people don't drive because all their streets are like individual stones, like this really smooth cobblestone
Yeah,
type,
so-
especially in Rome. Other
So
places,
hydroplaning is definitely the
yeah,
thing
Yeah.
there.
in
Exactly.
Rome it was they don't get a lot of rain, but when they do, it just makes
No
the
one
ground
Massive.
Yeah,
stretch
everyone's
everything
walking.
out.
Yeah, like, and it drizzled there for a little bit, and we slid once, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was weird.
Other places they got like regular paved roads and things like
Right,
that, but for the most
Like
part,
highways and interstates and
Yeah.
stuff like
Do
that.
they have any of those like taxi bikes?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like the tricycle ones.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, I bet they make ton of money on tourists and shit
Oh,
from
they
that.
do.
Yeah, and like they charge like for ride, like all their cars are like super small. You know, like the Fiat 500s. Like that's the size of like that's like the
Oh, yeah.
average size of a car over there. And they have like these weird cars that have like 3 wheels and stuff. And like sometimes they'll charge tourists like, hey, do you want to drive this 3-wheeled car? And everyone like eats that up. It's hilarious.
So did you guys have to exchange your U.S. currency?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had these euros.
What, euros?
Yep.
Euros, yeah.
We actually had a debate when we were doing trivia one night. What a euro equivalents to U.S. dollars? I think it was like $1 is $1 and
12 cents.
16
13 cents or
Yeah.
something like that.
Something
yeah,
like that,
I think it was 1.13336 or
It
something.
does,
Actually,
it does stretch farther there, doesn't it? I think I heard usually in a lot of the countries it's very cheap, living, food, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're, like,
Oh,
going
so
somewhere
like
more
yeah,
expensive.
the cost for like food and things like that is pretty inexpensive. If you're going out to eat, then it gets a little bit pricier. But like the cost of living in Rome, like I should have asked my mom to send me some of those pictures for like 100 square foot like apartment, like not huge, right?
yeah.
It's like what'd they say, like 6,000 euros a month,
Yeah, it was nuts.
something crazy like for like
Well,
100 square feet.
and like that's Rome, where like everything there's like a tourist attraction.
Right,
Everything
you're
there's,
right
like,
dab in the middle of
yeah,
everything.
something has
Yeah.
history. Like something's a view. It's like when you pay for a property in the States that has like a lake view or an ocean view or something like that. That's like every place to live in Rome.
Coliseum view.
True.
There you go.
Yeah, get a view of the Coliseum.
Or
You're paying
St.
like
Peter's,
12 grand
yeah.
a month for that.
If I ever go to Italy, I want to check out Pompeii.
We were
gonna,
supposed to.
yeah. We were gonna do that, and then it ended up raining, and then we decided to. What did we end up doing that day?
We went to.
We went to Venice, didn't we?
Yeah, we
to go
ended
to
up.
Venice
We
and-
decided to go to Venice, so Venice was sweet.
But
Yeah.
isn't that like right on the other side of Vesuvius? Or is that
I
Naples?
don't know. I think that's south.
No, Venice is on the east side.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I
yeah.
remember Pompeii was like right on the edge of another big
It was
city.
yeah,
Sis-
Pompeii is on the west. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. If
I feel like I
go-
should know this. I wasn't really on like social media or like checking the map out or nothing a whole lot. Like I was posting stuff.
I go
Obviously.
to Europe,
Yeah,
then, of
Venice
course.
is on the east side and Pompeii is on the west, I believe.
If I ever go to Europe, I want to go to Greece. That's another part of
Oh, yeah, that-
But we went to we went to Pisa, Florence. We went to
San
San Marino, which is like its own independent country inside of
Yep.
Italy.
Same thing with the Vatican. It has, pretty sure Italy has 3 of those. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, and all these like a bunch of these buildings that you can see in, especially in Rome where the Vatican is huge. Excuse me, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that here.
No, you're good.
You're fine.
All right, right on. Sorry. Yeah, when I get thinking, all the.
We need to change this podcast to BETT Records Unfiltered.
It's okay. We'll just make the title explicit
We
for this
have
episode.
the
All the-
explicit tag. We have
yeah.
the explicit tag.
All the
do.
bad words come out when I get deep in thought. But
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
okay,
the
you're
a lot of the buildings that are owned by the Vatican, they have their own flag. So there's like the flag of Italy, but if the building is owned by the Vatican,
Right,
it'll also
so it's
fly a white and yellow flag with this crest on there, and the white and yellow actually stands for silver and gold. It's the
Ooh, okay.
silver and gold key that. So I don't know, some
Someone had for a
some
door.
biblical figure gave to another biblical figure. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I should remember this. I feel, but
No. I mean, there's so much history there, and it
There's
was
so
way
much
longer than
history.
U.S. even started, right?
yeah.
you know.
Well, actually, funny thing that you mentioned that. The United States has actually been around longer than Italy as we know it.
Yeah, right,
Italy
that
did
makes
not
sense.
gain its Italy as we know it did not become Italy up until what was it 1946?
57.
Because the Ottoman
Or
Empire
57,
was
yeah, it was
still around,
57.
right?
No, it wasn't the Ottoman. It was the Empire of Italy, all the way through World War I and World War II, and then in like 1957 is when they actually became
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah, once they took care of Mussolini,
Yeah.
they got their own.
They hate that guy too. Like when we were when we were in Rome and all sorts of other places, they were telling us all about like the fascist occupation of Italy and whatever, and how the Italian mob fought with the U.S. Army to get like push the Nazis out and all sorts of other things that were going on in World War II. And I was like, that is sweet. And then we saw the mountain range where the Battle of Monte Grappa was fought. Another big World War One. It was just that's the stuff that I remember. That's
Yeah.
kind of up my alley.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
battles were fought in the cities that we're
Yeah.
in. That's weird for like Americans to think about.
Yeah, they
just
were
'cause
showing
we haven't
us-
had a war here.
Yeah,
So.
like our tour guide was like showing us pictures taken in World War II of people in the streets or soldiers in the
Like
streets.
Australian soldiers going through the streets, like as we'd walk
As
into
we're
this
walking
tunnel,
through 'em.
like they would show us a picture of like certain things that would happen at the spot we were standing. And we were like,
Sure.
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
we
so
stood where Hitler stood
in
in
Paris.
the Vatican and in Paris
Yeah.
too. Yeah, to me that was crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts. That's super nuts.
You're standing in the same spot of a guy who had a really small penis.
And one nut.
Yeah, and really bad breath. That's an
Hey, but
actual
he
thing
made some
too.
pretty good
I read a
I gotta-
report saying that Hitler had horrendous.
Well, I gotta imagine
smelling breath.
everybody did. Like I know, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't have toothpaste
Yeah, I
back
don't
then.
think
dude.
hygiene
Yeah,
was,
probably. I don't know what they.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
know.
yeah, something.
I don't
It was
know.
the 40s. There's no way they had toothpaste.
I don't know what they used for dental care back then.
A hammer.
Shoot.
I mean, trigger warning. I mean, look at some of the people in England's teeth.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
it's Boy, a bit rude to put that knife in my chest, isn't it?
Was it like the original Family Guy? Like the first couple seasons, there was that one English guy who was like flirting with
The
Lois.
massive upper jaw. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's okay, Lois. I got this. Penis. He just passes out.
God damn it.
He drives a Duesenberger, or whatever those cars were called.
You're asking the
No
wrong
idea.
guy. I have no clue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Never seen it.
Yeah, that ain't me.
Yeah, that's a good
Never
episode.
seen it.
It's-
Never seen it.
It's the episode where she
One
tells
thing
her.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
when you guys were across there is because I'm a picky ass eater. What did you guys actually have to eat, and what did you guys think of it? Favorite foods?
I think the best thing that I got, I think it was like my second to last meal there, where like you could get it was like like everything. You know, if you look at a server or somebody in like the States or whatever, and you think like, oh, this is like a placeholder job for them to do something else. That's like a way of life for them over there.
Right,
Like it is
yeah.
like that is something you build a career on there, and they take an awful.
Damn.
They take great pride in it, and so
Right.
we went to this really nice restaurant, and I got like lamb medallions and some weird like not weird, some red wine reduction sauce and like toasted Brussels sprouts and a bunch of other thing, and then we were drinking beer and wine every lunch and dinner for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, because they don't put this weird stereotype on like alcohol over there that like America does. Like if you're drinking in America, people kind of like shun you. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of weird. But they don't do that over there. Like they see like alcohol and wine and beer as like
Yeah.
a part of a meal. Like it ties everything together. So like
Yeah.
they don't have like this whole stereotype against like alcohol that we do that causes problems and stuff here. It was a
Sure.
So like if you had like a glass of wine at lunch at like 11, 12 o'clock and they didn't care.
That's
Like,
like normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
You
Yeah.
look around and you see 8 other people doing that.
Right, but
Yeah.
if you did that in the United States, people like, are you serious? You're drinking
Are
before
you
5
okay?
o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
unless you're a college
Are you
student, that's
okay?
not okay.
Yeah,
Or if you're on vacation.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or an alcoholic.
Or an alcoholic,
Right.
which
Well, that's like what people would think.
I claim to
Yeah.
only be on the weekends. I'm an alcoholic on the
There
weekends.
was because I know
Thursday.
some places in
Thursday
Italy,
through Sunday.
Because I
makes
know
sense.
some of the wineries in Italy, you're not even like, I don't know if you're not allowed to, but
You don't
it's like-
swallow it. You
yeah,
swig it around. You taste it, and you spit it in a bucket. Yeah, we did.
What?
We did a tour of a vineyard. And it was a
taste.
wine and
It's like
cheese
refresh
thing.
your
and-
palate.
Yeah. So you like take it, you swig it around, you spit it out, and some of them you sip on, and then you swallow it. But then you also pair it with like cheese or like dark chocolate, and it really just amplifies the flavor. And it's
Wait, what was
Weird.
this place called again? Why am I spacing
Yeah.
so hard on
Dude,
this?
it's weird how they-
Okay.
Because in Europe, I know that with their alcohol, it's kind of like their social thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw a map one time. It said, so it started with the U.S. list of burger places in the U.S. You couldn't even see a state because it was all covering. But it made the layout of the state in Ireland. It said, in England, it said pubs in England.
Right, yeah.
Entire
So,
country
yeah,
was
yeah,
covered
but,
in
like,
those little pins.
After this meal, like they come out with 5 glasses of cognac, and they're like, yeah, here's your like after dinner cognac. And like when you think of cognac, you think of like Hennessy or something like that, which
Red
I
Robin.
can't do, obviously. But this cognac
It's
was
pretty good.
it was so good. Like they put it under this little
do
candle.
Hennessy.
I can't do Hennessy. I really can't. I've drank it. I've had my fair share of awful nights with it. But they bring out like this cognac with this fancy little holder, and they set it at an angle, and then they put it on top of a candle flame, and they like slightly warm it. And I was like, slightly warm it. What the hell is going on here? And then it was like the sweetest, most like flavor filled dark liquor I ever had in my whole life.
Damn.
Did it just taste warm, or was it like
It
a
was
smoke
like
flavor?
it was like lukewarm, but
Okay.
it had like
Yeah.
undertones of like caramel and all sorts of other stuff too. It was so
Yeah,
good.
I got like a couple of pictures. Like this was like the meat and cheese.
Oh, yeah,
platters,
that's like-
everything was like
Okay.
super
Mayonnaise
crazy.
sauce.
Looks
Yeah,
like a
charcuterie
Yeah,
board.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it
what's
is.
the board called? Yeah.
But and then I got
Charcuterie board.
like the seafood dish over pasta and stuff like that. So like before I got it, and like another crazy thing
this
is
is
like
so
we
funny.
ate it outside of like this is like a crazy
Yeah.
monument in Italy. Like everywhere that we ate was just like around these crazy monuments. So like we were sitting in these restaurants. And people were just like going about their day, and I'm just like, we're eating in front of the Coliseum.
Yeah.
I was like, it's nuts. So I got the seafood platter, and my server, I took a picture with them, brought out the lobster for me to say goodbye to.
Nice.
So I took a picture with the lobster, and then like another picture later, there he is on my plate. So, so yeah, it was nuts. I mean, they do things really awesome over there.
Was
and I-
COVID like a big thing over there? Like,
No,
was
not
there was
really.
no
No,
mandates.
you
There
had
was
to
a-
wear
like-
a mask everywhere you inside.
Yeah, like it was
outside,
like that was it. But like they weren't like worried about COVID. Like you had to wear a mask if you were inside. But other than that, like they didn't talk about COVID. They didn't care about COVID. They just wanted to live. And like over there, like here we live to work, but there they work to live. So like a mask mandate to them was like the least of their concerns as long as they could continue to go
Still
about
do their
daily
job.
life. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yep. And still live their life the
Yeah.
way that they basically want at that point as
right.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
How long were you there for?
2
12
weeks.
days, yeah.
Okay.
Just
What was the best highlight of the whole trip? You might have said it already, but the single one thing that you saw, did,
Honestly,
experienced.
yeah, I'm gonna have to be basic and say it. Just taking a gondola trip in Venice.
yeah, that was probably
Just like I know it's like everyone's like, oh, you went to Italy, took a gondola ride, like that's like
Honestly,
everyone.
it
But,
sounds so good. though.
right, yeah,
Really
it was because
cool.
like there's this dude playing an accordion, singing traditional Italian music and stuff like that. And we're sitting in a gondola, and like the entire time it never quite set in. I was like, wow, I'm in Italy, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a gondola right now.
Yep.
yeah.
And it was just like one of those things like that. Yeah, and like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It was like those like stereotypical like Instagram picture type stuff. But it was
Like,
just
you're
like
pushing it over, you're holding it up, kind of.
But now I can say like, yeah, I did that. I was there.
In all honesty, I look at you two guys and then I look at myself. If either of us were just walking around the city of Rome compared to these guys, I think everyone in Italy would think that we reside there.
Yeah, no,
Because of
like
our Italian looks,
yeah,
our last
like-
name.
Yeah.
people would come up to like Nico and I. They'd start speaking Italian, and we would like. Nico speaks better Italian than I do, But like we kind of sit like we're not fluent by any means.
Right.
But
I'm damn close. But
we'd sit there and they're just
I am
like
damn
like
close.
dumbfounded, and I was just like my Italian's awful. I would tell them in Italian that I get my Italian's
Well,
awful.
you'd all point them to me. Like beggars would come over to.
Well,
like, they would
that
come over.
much.
Ask this
that
dude.
much I could handle.
They
Like,
would
I just
well,
like
no. They would
no.
like pick out like my younger brother and my mom.
Yeah.
And they would. Because I don't know. I guess no. My dad obviously looks extremely Italian.
Yeah.
Everybody's met my dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He looks
Sounds
really
cool,
Italian,
dude.
and like so did Noah and I when we were over there. And so like beggars would come up to like my mom, my younger brother, like speaking Italian, trying to ask him for stuff and whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh no, him. He's the one you want to talk to."
You know,
So-
like they're begging.
They're
Mom, I was like, you
begging.
can't point. so like, yeah.
Keep finishing.
oh well, yeah, no, it was just. They were like shocked. They're like, "Oh, you're American." We were like, "Yeah, we're American." They're like, "Oh." I didn't know that. And then they'd speak in like broken English, or if they knew English, they'd speak to us in English. But like some of them were genuinely surprised that we weren't actually
Weird.
Italian. Yeah, it was
that's
funny.
crazy.
So the biggest question I have is,
Yeah.
how are the women out there?
Oh, wow.
Not a bad one.
Not a bad one.
There was some better. There were some better than others, but like, God, they're all just fucking gorgeous.
There you go.
Yeah, like we're just sitting there, and they loved us too. Like there's this one chick. We went to a Ray-Ban store when we were in.
Be big, strong American.
Yeah, we went to a Ray-Ban store, and she's she comes ciao, and I was like ciao, come stai, and she goes bene, and she keeps talking to us, and she asks where we're from, and I just say America. She goes, she like lights up and she just starts getting all energetic and she's like talking to us and like, fuck, little firecracker. She was just dropped it. She's my wife. She don't know it yet, but I mean, she's
If you're out there, now you know it.
Yeah, if you're listening to this
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
right now,
See,
come
this
find
is-
us.
come find me.
Come find us, St. Cloud, Minnesota. You know where we be at. Otherwise, we may be in Wisconsin for this upcoming
Oh,
year's
God.
event.
Oh,
Justin,
Justin, what's happening this year?
Shrekfest 2022.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Yep, taking place at the James Madison Park.
Yeah,
in
have you guys
Madison.
been or what?
No, I've wanted to. So my
I'm
buddy,
surprised.
Yeah, my
kinda.
buddy goes to lacrosse, University of Lacrosse, and he talked about going this year. And it just like ultimately got super busy, and then we kind of decided like, well, Nico's not here, and we didn't know honestly when he was gonna be back. He ended up coming back a lot earlier than he thought, so we never ended up putting too much thought into it. But like Shrekfest, like I've seen pictures, it's hilarious. But
Yep.
there is an event of our own in St. Cloud coming
Oh, yes.
soon. Justin, did you want to touch on that one?
Yeah.
Next weekend.
I don't know if this is an offensive word to some people. So first I'll name the company name and then I'll get into detail. Micro Wrestling.
Yeah,
And not
Micro
wrestling.
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 Wrestling, yeah.
So we're gonna see. So we really want to see a bunch of trigger warning midgets slamming each other, hitting each other with chairs. And I swear, if I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna heckle at one of them, and they're gonna turn to me and say, "What did you just say?" I'm like, "You heard me. Come do something." "Oh, I'm coming down there." Jumps out of the ring, grabs Q-tip. Can you imagine just a three foot tall little person just judo throwing Q-tip into a table?
I hope they play like sound effects in the background, like
Oh my God.
like a little person gets absolutely suplexed and it's just like a duck squeak, like.
Me and Josh were actually watching Wrestlemania.
Oh yeah.
On Sunday
Oh,
night.
with Wee
It was-
Man. Yeah.
Wee
That was
Man
funny.
and Jackass. The highlight of the night was Pat McAfee
Yep.
coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
He won, and then
Highlight of
McMahon
the
was just
match.
like, "You just beat my protege." Gets in, taps him out, and he's like, "Fuck yeah!" Then all of a sudden, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes in, taps him out, and then he wastes like a whole case of beer, just like slamming it, and it's
Yeah.
all foam coming out.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Like how
wasted
much of
entire
that did
ticket.
you add? That's party foul.
Good old Stone
Steve-O.
Cold.
Yeah, but it's all
Yeah.
for the theatrics, you know. Like
No,
I
I
do
get
that every
I get
now
it's
and
for
then.
the theatrics, but like.
Well, no, but like if
There's
if
a
you-
starving college kid out there who would have loved to actually.
Well, no, it's not even
drink
about that.
beer.
If you're like, I've done it a couple of times where like you shake up a beer can up and you smack it over your head. No one cares if you drink it all. But, like there's like that
Yeah,
kid just
no.
hit a beer over his head and it blew
Yeah.
up. That's crazy.
It's about the theatrics.
Right,
That's-
exactly.
fair
The
enough.
That's
guy's a
what
boss.
wrestling is. Was WrestleMania 2 days or what
It
was
was
the
2
deal?
days.
2 days, yeah.
What the fuck?
I didn't tell the BETT Records crew, but I actually trolled Jake Paul on Twitter 2
You
weeks
showed
ago,
me? Oh,
and I
yeah.
showed them, but I didn't say it on
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So I was thinking about trolling Logan Paul.
So dumb.
There was a video of him after winning getting celebrated, and then the guy just throwing him over his shoulder and elbowing him. And I wanted to share it on my Instagram story and say, now imagine if that was me. You would have gone through that ring.
Jesus.
Yeah, Logan Paul got betrayed, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
that
best
was-
part of WrestleMania. Logan
Yeah,
Paul.
he's sitting there. They're like, yeah, we won our tap-in event.
Yeah, their
whatever.
tag team
Our
event.
tag team
I'm
event.
taking the glory
And then
for
Logan
myself,
Paul
yeah.
just gets fucking betrayed. Just guy like
Yep, by his teammate The Miz.
The Miz, just
Yeah.
friggin' just killed him.
So, yeah, I don't know if the
Tragic.
story is with that. That
I don't
might
either.
something might come out. I don't know if he's on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. The Miz. I don't know anymore. I used
Well,
to
it's not
watch
like
a
you
long
can-
time ago.
I don't
But
know. It's not like you can book like a whole fight for it. I mean, it's all fake.
yeah, well, yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, so like, how do you
Never say that to one of them, though.
But here's the
They
thing.
know it, but like
Yeah.
you have to be athletic for that.
They won't
Oh,
break.
yeah.
They won't break
100%.
character though.
No, they won't break character.
not at all.
100%,
unless
and you
it's,
shouldn't.
unless on rare occasions.
But like everyone's like to say, oh, it's fake wrestling, whatever. So you see the fucking backflips these dudes are doing and like landing on another person to
not
not
Oh, yeah.
hurt them. You know,
There was
Yep.
there was an instance in like 2008. I remember because for some like I'd fall asleep. George Lopez would go on. You'd wake up to the the George Lopez
Yeah,
intro and then like a
those
cold
years.
sweat. And then WWE would come on and I remember sitting there watching it once. It was like this little like 9-year-old and this girl got like tombstoned or whatever and he did it wrong and she actually broke her neck.
Oh, I
Oh
believe
my
it.
God.
yeah,
jeez.
and
Yep.
it was supposed to be like his girlfriend or whatever.
And she
like, they
cheated
got in
on
a
him.
fight.
Yeah, and they got caught.
No, he cheated on her.
Oh.
It was he cheated on her.
Okay, I
she was
couldn't-
mad
okay,
about
yeah.
it, and she was like confronting him about it. Guy just picks her up and like tombstones her
Yeah.
to end the argument or whatever.
He did it wrong and
Like-
she broke her neck and no one knew. But then they all broke character on like on screen when they heard her like gurgling and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
that's
she
not part of the
broke her-
script, and
Yeah.
then they cut it. But yeah, she like broke her neck. It was crazy.
the stuff that really makes me just go oof when it happens when they do ladder shit.
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Falling
scary.
off a ladder is
Yeah.
can
That's a
kill you.
that's a
Yeah.
height.
And when I see them like they flip the ladder upside down, they like slam their back.
Oh, yeah.
on the
Oh,
edges. I'm
yeah,
like,
like-
that has to hurt.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
there's no
hurt.
way it doesn't.
But it's all every single piece is tampered with. So
Right.
it's easier to go through the
Yeah.
tables.
Right.
I don't know if you can tamper a ladder
Well, no, like
and
everyone
still
knows,
be able to
it's not
climb
like it's made
it.
out of
everyone
foam.
knows about breakaway glass or a breakaway table, or if you
Yeah.
land on it, it'll break in half.
Right.
You're still landing on a table and then going through the table and hitting the ground.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, maybe the ground is like spongy or it gives a little bit or whatever. You're still hitting the ground while like another 300-pound dude is like following up with it, just salt in the wound or whatever.
Yeah, or I mean, those long time ago cage matches, they jump off the top cage
Yeah.
onto some shit outside of the ring. Yeah, like there's a part of that where obviously it's not faking, but I read a book, Stone Cold Steve Austin biography in like middle school. The first sentence says, it's something like, just so you know, wrestling is 100% fake. And I'm like, well, I don't need to read the rest of this book, fuck. But I was kind of shocked.
Right.
In his own book, he was like, yeah, just so you guys know, this is fake, but here's like my life story behind it.
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
There was
But-
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Owen Hart.
Uh-huh.
At one of the wrestling events in Kansas City, I think it was, they were rappelling him down the a wire, and the wire broke,
Oof.
and he fell like 60 feet from the catwalk to the ring, fell and onto like
Jesus.
the edge of the ring and died.
God.
Damn.
They have it on
I don't
video,
remember
but it's in
that.
the archives. They won't show it to anybody, or they won't delete it.
Damn.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Just throw it away. I don't know. What do you do with it?
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you remove something completely from the internet? You know, like once, like I was always under the impression you put something on the internet, it's
Yeah.
it's there forever. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually
it'll
it's,
get
like, dig
lost
pretty
somewhere.
hard.
Like, I want to question that. Like, so if you delete it, where does it go?
Cloud.
If you
can you like
delete it-
destroy the code and just break apart the video, or I
Like,
don't
let's
know.
say I delete a Facebook post that I made when I was like in 2009 when I was 10 years old, and I was like, oh, this is cringy. I'm gonna
It
delete
gets
it.
Right.
gets wiped off of the site.
Right.
Just the idea of it.
No, yeah. Another good documentary that just came out is Nature Boy 30 for 30.
Yeah, about Ric Flair.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
and like I
A
didn't.
book or
No,
it's a
movie?
documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually a film.
Actually,
Okay.
a film. Yeah, and it goes like me.
On like Hulu, Netflix. Is it on
It's
something?
on
or-
Hulu.
ESPN
it's on
Plus.
ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
too.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
And like we were watching it, and yeah, again we were talking about like how it's fake or whatever, but he was talking about how like it almost ruined like his whole life. He's like, yeah, I just like lived and breathed wrestling. That's all I wanted
Like,
to
that
do.
was
Like
his
I
first
got
love. He said, like
Yeah.
he loved wrestling
Damn.
before his wife. He loved it more than his wife, and like it
yeah. He's like, yeah, it soon became that I wasn't like that I wasn't, Ric Flair anymore, or what's his first name, Richard?
Yeah.
Richard. He's like, yeah, I'm not Richard Flair anymore. I'm the Nature Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, it almost like cost me everything else. He's like, I got addicted to it, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get dick from Richard? I don't know. Ask politely.
Oh my god.
What was it? Some of the best wrestling stories are Andre the Giant drinking stories, where he drank 120
Yes,
something
right.
beers in one sitting.
Yeah.
He has multiple stories of that, and Hulk Hogan, every single time he gets asked about it, he always says they are all true.
Yeah.
None of them are myth.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
are true.
and
Andre the Giant was a different beast.
oh yeah,
It's just a big. I mean, you gotta imagine. I mean, like I'm like 160 pounds soaking wet. This dude, how tall is
That's
this
what I
guy?
was gonna look up again.
He was 7. I think he was 7'6", 525
I mean, he's
pounds.
Andre the Giant.
7'4".
7'4".
He had like a condition though. I think he had a tumor
Yep.
on his pituitary gland,
Well,
which that causes you to grow.
Yeah, but he's still a 7'4",
Yeah,
500-pound
7'4",
dude. It's gonna take
Yeah.
a little bit. I guarantee the dude could polish a case and probably get a buzz, but like,
Yeah, I mean, they
big
call him Andre
dudes.
the Giant. Like, you don't just get that nickname for not being a giant.
yeah,
Not even just drinking, eating too.
right.
That-
They
too.
said one day at a buffet he ate 12 prime rib steaks, 8 lobster tails, 2 racks of ribs, and 50 buffalo wings.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat to move around, my boy. I mean,
I
you
would
gotta-
have exploded at probably my 3rd prime rib.
if you even got to.
yeah.
I would
I was
have
gonna say,
been
yeah.
able, I think I would have been able to plow through the lobster tail. I'm from the East Coast and we love our seafood.
No.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
love
what
my
I was just
seafood,
showing
too.
you earlier. I mean, that dude brought me a lobster, and I said, shout out to this lobster. And I didn't bat an eye when I, like, I shoved that shit in my mouth. It was so good. I'm going to do that again.
And also coming up Saturday, we have UFC 273 down in
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida. We
Yeah.
have 2 title fights and a number 1 contender fight. Starting things off, and the main card is it's 2 females. I forget their names. Skip over them.
Logan Paul.
Oh, jeez.
No. So we start off for the welterweight number 1 contender fight: Gilbert Burns versus rising star Hamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
The Smash Master is coming to smash Gilbert's face. And then we have the rematch of champion Aljamain Sterling and interim champ Piotr Jan. Their first fight, Aljamain won the fight and became the champion off of a disqualification after an illegal knee from Jan. Since then, Sterling has been called Aljamain the Flopmaster Sterling. He's been
Why?
giving
Just because he falls over or what?
because he milked it so hard, like he
Oh,
was seriously
right.
hurt. But he did an interview with Joe Rogan right
Yeah,
afterwards.
because he wanted to milk points from the judges and all that kind of
Right.
crap.
Yep, and if you look on his social
see it.
media, on every single post he does, look in the comments, and there's
Yeah.
just a bunch of people who comment the clown emoji.
He's the LeBron James of MMA.
Of UFC,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then finally, Alexander the Great Volkanovski defends his featherweight title against Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. And you need
That's
to
going to
see,
be a good fight.
you should see the betting odds for that one though. Volkanovski's a -700 against Zombie.
Really? Do you agree with that? Do you think it should be closer or what?
Volkanovski is definitely a favorite. -700 means you're expecting a complete ass whooping
Yeah.
for 5 rounds. I
Right.
don't see a complete ass whooping
Not
from
at
a
all.
Zombie. Piotr Jan's a -550, which I agree with because he was kicking the shit out
Well,
of Aljamain.
Korean Zombie's got a new trainer too, doesn't he?
Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, he's got a new trainer. So they're
Triple
saying that
C.
this is gonna be a different Korean Zombie. Like
Might be
I
Russian,
just
bro.
don't. Yeah, I just don't. I just don't think that it's gonna be a rollover fight.
And he's young too. Like, he's got time to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love because the guy who's training him, Henry Cejudo, he's retired, but he still like talks shit on Twitter to people, which kind of annoys me. He's like, dude, fight if you're gonna talk shit to
Right.
people on Twitter.
It's like
you're
Ben
a
Askren
trained-
too.
He
Ben
has the
Askren does the same thing.
He gave, so he's called out Volkanovski, and he gave Volkanovski probably the most clever nickname I've ever heard.
What?
So his nickname is Alexander the Great Volkanovski,
Okay.
and Cejudo calls him Alexander the Average.
Oh my god.
Uh,
All right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
It's
being average.
fine.
It doesn't
Yeah,
say.
what's
I
wrong?
know,
What's
yeah,
wrong?
there's nothing wrong with average.
Oh, it's
man.
just, it's not too big, it's not too small. Okay.
Yeah. Volkanovski got word of that after his last fight and said, man, he's called out everyone. He's called out females. He said he wanted to fight Valentina and take her belt. You actually believe the shit that comes out of that guy's mouth? No.
What was okay? I gotta ask something about this, dude. Since we're on the topic of like UFC MMA. You guys see the video of Conor McGregor like screaming into the crowd, calling somebody like something juice? Did you see that?
When was that?
Is
Is it recent?
Yeah, it was pretty recent. He was like screaming into the crowd of people like calling them like juice or something like that. I didn't know like context behind it, but it was a pretty weird insult.
Well, the last event he was at was Bellator in Dublin. That was a couple months ago.
Right.
He just got arrested 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he did.
For reckless driving the same week that Jorge
Yeah.
Masvidal got arrested for assaulting Colby,
Oh,
the
yeah.
same week that
Jesus,
Chael Sonnen got 11 battery charges.
Yeah, and the same week for all you superhero fans, Ezra Miller got arrested too for
Who did?
Ezra Miller, guy who's playing Flash or whatever, the new
yeah, I
Flash
remember
movie.
that.
He got arrested too, for, like
Oh, yeah.
assault and battery, like
The
fought
funny,
people.
the funny thing about that was they had those 3 arrests in the MMA world, and I read a tweet that said, "Come on, at John Jones, make this week unforgettable."
Oh my god.
But yeah, gonna be a good fight. It's all going down in Jacksonville, Florida, Saturday nights. I'm going with Hamzat, or what Jake Paul calls him, Kumquat Kamaev, to smash.
I feel like-
Gilbert
I feel like he's calling him that as not for the fruit, but like he's calling him a kumquat. I feel like it's not just like
okay.
for the fruit.
Well,
I feel
yeah.
like it's for
the reason he called him that was because Jake Paul put out a tweet attacking Dana again, and then Hamza finally said enough of this and tweeted, "Dana White, let me smash this disrespectful little boy." And Jake's like, "Listen, kumquat. You're just another UFC fighter who thinks he can box."
And again, 100%. I reiterate, he's not talking about the fruit. I gotta imagine he's not talking about the fruit.
I don't think
No,
he is.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. No, I found the
Did you find
video.
it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
It
you
was-
can play it for Justin.
Okay, yeah, here we'll play it. I don't know what he was he was calling out the Floyd Mayweather team and whatever, but it's just his insults are just out of left field and they're nothing short of a spectacle.
And just before he shows the video, my other picks are Piotr Jan's going to beat up the Flopmaster, and Volkanovski's going to retain the title Saturday night.
You
Okay.
heard it here first, folks. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, was it a long time?
That was the Floyd fight.
Yeah, I assumed it was like because it was from the Floyd fight, but I hadn't seen him call people a juice head turkey ever, and I was just calling him a
pretty
juice head
strange
turkey, and I was like, what?
Floyd's manager, the bald guy sitting next to him.
Yeah.
I forget that guy's name, but he was like, "Look at this man. If you've ever seen anyone who looks like a weasel, here it is." And the
See,
guy
I've
goes
heard-
like, he's like, "What, you gonna do something? Sit down and shut your own mouth."
I've heard plenty of people like call each other weasels in hockey and stuff, and they get called a pigeon and you coo at them and stuff like that. But like a juice head turkey, yeah,
Like, how do you come up with those?
I don't know. I was like, I would, not that it's a good insult, but if somebody called me a juice head turkey, I just wouldn't be able to clap back. And again, not because it's a good response, but because I would be so dumbfounded that
Just
I
so
was
far
called,
out there.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
I-
called a juice head turkey. I just gotta think about that one for a
It's
while.
like-
Process.
I was like, did you just come up with this now, or are you like writing
No.
stuff
You,
like,
down in your
sleep
You
on
gotta
it?
have a dream journal.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one, bro.
Yeah.
No one ever has
He
called anyone
stayed
that
up-
before.
Yeah, he stayed up all night thinking of that. But I don't know if anyone like we've obviously all had turkey before, but I don't think I've ever had a turkey that's like not been driving the goddamn Mojave. I'm not a huge turkey fan, but that shit is sand. I just don't like it.
I don't get it. It's like I was playing Call of Duty the other day, and some kid was just like, "You better shut the fuck up before I kiss you on the mouth." What do I say to that?
Do it, bitch. You
like-
won't.
Well, no, it's either he does and he puts his money where his lips where his money is or whatever. Like, but then I'm on a list somewhere else. Like I'm already on a list from the FBI. Like I
Well, no,
wasn't
you-
actually curious about how to make a bomb, or I didn't want to know how to make a bomb. I was just curious. So I'm on a list somewhere else. I'd
Yeah,
rather
you
not
just
be on
tell him like, yeah, you better stop badmouthing me before I fall in love with you.
Oh my god.
Some of the
Masochist
trash
kind of
talk I've seen in MMA, like at that point, if that was me, I wouldn't even be offended. I'd just be like, "Wow, that was good."
You know, you
Yeah,
just
that's
tell
a
them
good
that.
one.
Yeah, you just tell them you're gonna sleep with their mom and give them a kid they actually like. That's all you gotta
I
do.
think the biggest
Oh my
clap I've ever seen was Chael Sonnen and Tito Ortiz. Tito Ortiz's ex-girlfriend was a porn star,
Oh, nice.
and Tito was basically saying he talks well. His mouth has gotten him all his opportunities, all his money. And Chael just goes, "The only person I know who's made money using their mouth is your ex-wife."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Tito, just the cringiest response. Well, actually, to correct you, she was never my wife.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I seen that.
So that's like some okay, yeah. So here's another thing. If we're gonna talk about wives doing some crazy Smith,
Jada Pinkett Smith.
we got to talk about the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett
Let's
Smith
do
thing,
it.
the Oscars. I think we have to unpack that.
Let's get it in here.
So, I completely understand. Like, I just don't know what broke the camel's back. You know, I get the media's been going at Will Smith forever and stuff like that. But like, you're gonna tell Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out your mouth, but you can't keep other people out of her mouth.
Can't keep August out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just
And,
like,
and here's where I'm at. Like, they like if he just like kept his mouth shut, laughed at the joke, and then dealt with it in private like an adult.
Right.
The internet would not be flaming him and Jada with all these memes.
Yeah.
True,
at
that's
all.
true.
No,
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, honestly, the only reason I think the Oscars went viral is because of that
of
moment.
which
To be
is, so
honest,
that begs the question:
needed
was it
that.
was it real or
They
fake? Do you
needed
guys
that.
think it was real or they're actors?
Because we
you
know
It's
that the
real
ratings
shit.
for like I don't know if you guys know. I know that the ratings for the Oscars have been
oh yeah,
have been really low.
Hitting the
Deeper
dirt.
than the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, deep,
Deeper
Mariana
than the
Mariana
Mariana
Trench. Oh yeah. So like, was
That
it
comes
real?
full circle.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Yeah, no, I mean, like, I just think there was a million better ways. Like, I get, like, sticking up for your significant other, like, you should do that. But I don't think that when you're in a position of power, you're on national television. I think there's a couple of steps you can do before you jack slap somebody in the
Yeah.
spotlight.
Jesus, yeah.
you're on, debate or
Yeah.
whatever. You're one of the nominees in 2 more rounds for Actor of the Year or whatever
Right.
you won. I mean,
You're gonna
whatever.
slap somebody and then get an Oscar right after.
yeah.
I'm
See,
like, I
my
don't
biggest
know.
thing about that was Chris Rock's a comedian. Isn't his job to be
Well,
offensive?
yeah, and if you
Yeah.
look at
True,
like any of
true.
his comedy or like Dave Chappelle or something, they are always pushing the limits of
Yep.
like taboo.
Right,
You know,
but like
And
a
it's
G.I. Jane joke was the thing that broke it. I just don't know.
Here's maybe the real question. Do you think the joke should have even been made in the first place, or do you think it should have just been fine and they should have carried on with the show and
you
Will
ever-
messed up for standing up?
I don't think it was that far at all. I mean, I understand that, like, they've been going through their own thing,
Yeah.
Jada cheating
I understand
on Will
both
and stuff.
sides.
Right.
Both
Right,
sides
no,
are
I
valid
get it.
100%.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. But like, you ever heard Ricky Jarvis host the Oscars?
No.
If you haven't heard Ricky Jarvis hosting the Oscars, he has told the line between like politically correct and incorrect, and honestly, probably going over that line a good few times. But I mean,
And when was that? Like, was that like
last year's
years
was
ago?
last year hosting.
Oh, last year even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
you can look it up. I mean, I mean, for me, since I don't honestly care that much, it's funny. He's
Yeah.
really funny.
Okay.
But
Yeah, Ricky
I-
is a good comedian.
Yeah.
Good comedian.
yeah, absolutely. And so I just don't. The joke definitely shouldn't have been made, but I also don't blame him for making it, since he probably didn't know, like, the status of their marriage, like how much stress they've been on from the
right.
media and all that kind of stuff.
I
Yeah.
saw Ben Shapiro break it down,
Mhm.
and in the video, like, it shows he tells the joke, and then it turns to Will Smith. Will Smith's actually laughing,
Right.
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
he
and
turns and
Jada
looks over
Smith
and
gave him
just-
that look like, oh, well, you better smack the hell out of him.
and
Yeah.
then he just gets him like,
Yeah, I mean, like, it's. I just, I don't think it really should have been made, but I also don't think that, pimp slapping Chris Rock was the response for a G.I. Jane joke, if I'm being 100% honest.
It's like Chris
But-
Rock took it like a man. Though.
No, he definitely
Oh,
did.
yeah.
That was
Yeah, he
crazy.
ate that.
He
Yeah.
said, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me, and I was like, he did, and you're fine. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he took
Yeah,
the show
that's
must
so
go
funny.
on to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of all the memes for that, was my favorite one was the one that Trenton sent me. It was Will Smith goes, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Your wife is in me DMs. Hey, baby."
It's Conor McGregor.
Conor, yeah.
That was
that is
That's
funny.
good.
But I mean, obviously the memes wouldn't have gone anywhere because
No.
they wouldn't have been a thing. I
Right.
don't think the Oscars would have gotten as much.
Definitely
Does anyone
not.
know anyone else that won an award that night?
I have not seen. No,
No,
I
me
don't
neither.
watch that.
No,
Me neither.
no one
No, that's the
watches
point.
the Oscars
Yeah.
because
Only part
nobody
that I-
wants to see a bunch of rich people who are so much better off than the 99% of the country talk about their struggles and how much they're dealing with. Like, you can just buy your way out of it.
Yep.
Nobody wants to hear a bunch of rich people talk about their problems because how bad can they be?
Yep.
So
And like,
who's-
and I will not to cut you off, but I will say like they do put in the work too.
Well,
to,
yeah.
like,
Oh, I would agree.
it is not
yeah.
easy,
Oh, yeah.
and again, like for Will and Jada, like I have no idea what it would be like to try to balance such a strenuous, in its own way, strenuous job
Right.
and a family. You know.
True.
So I don't ever doubt that they did not put in like countless hours and like countless nights awake or something like that to
Oh, yeah.
to learn their script
yeah,
and to
no, absolutely.
train and practice. Or I mean, you got to look at all these dudes in the superhero movies just getting absolutely freaking yoked for it. Like whoever played Shazam, I can't remember his name, got shredded for it.
Well, in Captain America ate an apple a day or something, or was that someone else? Maybe that was just a rumor. I don't know, but-
I mean,
Yeah.
they probably did, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying that, they're humans, they go through their own problems and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
of
like,
Of course.
I'm just like, what, like, how severe are their problems? Like, not that, I don't know. I just don't think that they're in a position to lecture the common public about, like, issues and stuff when
you're
Like
a
LeBron
part of
James
the
on Twitter.
problem.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they have all the influence. They could really make a difference, but I'm just going to tap my thumbs on Twitter, and I can't see it. And then Amy Schumer, like, this is the one thing I was super happy that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, is because Amy Schumer said she was so traumatized by the incident she has to take a break from comedy, and everyone, like, just sort of lighten her up. They're like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. They're like thanking Will Smith and stuff like that. Like, they're like, I can't believe that this is what got Amy Schumer out and taking a break. It was so funny.
That's funny. I haven't seen that response, but I've seen that too, and it's like, I don't know how that really makes sense, but sure. I
The
mean,
one celebrity who I just cannot stand is Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
The guy is just...
who is that?
He was the one who shot the two like
guy
camera
outside
people
the
on
guy.
us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like
we
it's
talked
like,
about that.
I heard that one. Like,
Long
yeah,
time
if you're
ago,
gonna,
yeah.
if you're gonna work with guns on set, like do it like Keanu Reeves.
Right.
You know that dude like day in day out is training with live
On
firearms
range,
and
yeah.
live
And at least
ammunition.
he should have stuck to his guns as soon as they said, here's a gun. Oh, no, I don't believe in guns, so I will not, my character will not be
Well, yeah,
using
but
a
it's just
gun
like
when
the
he shoots and kills somebody.
first rule of hunter safety or of just owning a firearm in general is treat it as if it's loaded.
True.
And I'm not gonna like blame it all on Alec Baldwin because obviously he shouldn't have been given a hot weapon or I don't know the whole ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
But still, you're working with a firearm. Check it first.
Yeah, and you're goofing around with it. But
Right.
at the same time,
Yeah,
he's a high-paid actor.
Yeah,
Hey,
he's not
here's your
paid
gun.
to think about that
Right,
stuff. He's
yeah,
just paid
there's
to
other
act.
people
Yeah.
that
Right.
paid for that.
Yep,
Right.
because it got past. I remember we
Like
researched
2
it a
or
little
3
bit.
types of
It went
series
through
and
like how many different stages of review
Yeah.
from like the costume people
Right,
and
exactly.
whatever, and they said, "Oh yeah, this is good to go." Gave it to him, and he was messing around with it, and here we
Yeah.
are, basically, right?
Yeah,
but
'cause-
imagine if they would have shot the scene, they would have
Yeah,
got
no
it the whole
kidding.
thing on tape.
Well,
honestly.
you know how Bruce Lee's son died, right? He was on a movie set and they forgot to unload the gun, and in the scene that was supposed to have blanks in it had a real bullet, and he got shot through the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Lee. But aside from that, just the thing I can't stand about Alec Baldwin is how many charges he's faced for assaulting paparazzis. Every single
Really?
paparazzi video of him, he's always cussing at them, he's pushing them, and get the fuck out of the way. I'm like, dude, I get it's annoying, but
Right.
like,
It
do
is
you really
your
have
job.
the
It is
audacity?
their
Right.
job.
You signed up
Yeah,
for
you-
that when you became a celebrity.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, there's better ways to deal with stuff like that.
Just
but I can't
ignore them.
imagine like you probably got tired of it. You know,
I
like
don't doubt it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
people-
understand
How many
that
years?
that's- right, and I understand that's annoying. You got a lot of people following you around, asking you questions, and you might be trying to go home or go see your wife and kids or whatever, and you just got people like flashing you with cameras all the time. And yeah, I can understand how that's
I
like
understand,
super
man.
annoying,
It's
but at the
frustrating.
same time, like everyone's always preaching like, oh, like, you know, don't be violent, you know, treat others how you want to be treated. But then Will Smith goes up there and slaps Chris Rock, and Alec Baldwin's assaulting paparazzi. It's like, all right, so yeah, rules for me, but not for thee. You know, like
Right.
we can't be
Yeah.
violent, but go. Yeah, they can go. They got free reign.
And Will Smith's not even getting charged for it. You know, like if
Chris
any of
Rock
that-
didn't want to press charges.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like
But it sounded like he's getting kicked out of the academy. I'm
I
almost
think he's getting his
positive.
Oscar revoked too. I heard something about that.
That's a good question. I heard he's not up for nomination for anything. I
Oh, yeah?
believe through the academy.
Okay.
But that is the question I had as well when I heard that piece of it. Is does he have to give the one he just got back, or
Right, yeah,
is he
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
keep that and they stop in the sunset? I don't know. But,
Yeah.
But I mean, he posted all of his public apologies and everything's fine now, right? I mean,
Right,
we're over
yeah.
it, right? So whatever. No, I'm just
Did you
kidding.
know that
but-
Alec Baldwin's actually getting sued for defamation?
For why?
So, one of the people that he helped out and raised money, I forget exactly, it's been a while since I wrote it. It was something like that. He helped, like, donate money for somebody.
Okay.
And then he found out that she was, in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. And then he screenshotted her page and her name and said, this person's an insurrectioner. If you see her, give her a hard time. And
Damn.
she DMs Alec Baldwin. She's like, I already have my sit down with the FBI, so I'm cleared. And he's like, doesn't matter. You're still a terrorist, and you do not belong in this country, or something of that sort. So she sued him for defamation because he put her name
On
all over
blast.
social media.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, you
dude, get a fucking life.
Weird.
Right, like you can sit comfortably on your like gold-plated toilet, but then you got to make life worse for other people.
Yeah, for another, again, not a random human, but again, another human
Right.
that doesn't have the money or
Private
resources. Yeah, exactly. A private citizen that's not out there in the public like that.
Right, like you got all the equipment, utilities, you got all the connections to deal with all that kind of stuff, but you're just gonna go for what? Like for your enjoyment? I just don't understand that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know either. Sticking a little bit with social media here, some breaking news within the past 24 hours. Elon Musk buys 10%, almost 10% of Twitter, is now the biggest owner of Twitter shares as well. Noah, Nico, what are you guys' initial thoughts?
That I can touch on a lot because
There are so many opportunities.
Right.
at this
Everyone
point.
is now calling for Elon Musk to reactivate former President Donald Trump's Twitter account.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And that's a big thing as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I don't even know the right answer for that.
Yeah, I don't
But-
either.
I
I know.
don't. Does he like Trump?
well, so that was like the big
It's
thing
another
circulating
question.
around not TikTok, Twitter. He was becoming the super outspoken person, and everybody think he quote swallowed the red pill or whatever was going on there. But
Yeah.
he's just been active in the community of free speech, and that like he wants people to be able to talk about what they want to talk about, and
He's the one person with money that isn't trying to hush everyone without it.
right,
honestly.
he's like the rich person for the rest of the people of the world.
Yeah.
He's like that 1% for the 99 that everyone wanted to see. So that when people heard he got 10% of Twitter, everyone was like, go for the rest, go for more, buy Twitter, stuff like that. Like we need a well-minded, outspoken individual who like truly wants the people to have a voice. So I honestly, I'm all for it. You can say what you want about Elon Musk, you can call him crazy, you can call him dumb, but a dumb person doesn't build the largest like company in America. He might be crazy, but
Arguably,
Yeah,
I mean,
but when
he's
you-
either
when you're-
crazy or a genius.
right. I mean,
People hate him
I mean,
so
you got.
much.
I mean, like,
You're crazy
he
until you're a
definitely-
genius.
Right,
He
exactly.
definitely has a unique way about, I just his presentation and like
Going about his ethics.
life.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta think like
you gotta respect
you
the
own
grind.
yeah,
you
you
know?
gotta respect the grind. He owns Tesla, SpaceX. He's doing all sorts of different things, and
Yeah.
he did not make his money,
Being dumb.
sleeping.
People
Yeah.
hate him so much that if they just see a Tesla out in public, they'll just key it. But they underestimate how smart he is that he puts hidden cameras on the side of each Tesla. So when you
Right.
What?
so
Yeah.
when you try to stealthily key it, it catches it on camera. There's videos online of it. People just walking by. and they just key
it
it.
doubles
never
as a
heard of
recorder,
this.
but it also doubles
It's
as
the
for
double function,
It's
yeah.
the double
The
function.
self-driving.
Self-driving.
So there's
it's the
sensors,
sensors
yeah,
too.
Yeah. So yeah.
Keep you in the lines and whatever. Weird.
I don't know how much I would trust that though.
See,
Because
that's-
if it
yeah.
malfunctions,
Yeah.
I die.
Have you guys been in a car like that?
I
No,
have,
I
have
been in a
once,
Tesla.
actually.
You've been in.
been
Okay,
in a
so
Tesla.
how was your? I've never been in a Tesla.
How
I've
was your
had the
Tesla time?
assisted
How was my
driving,
Tesla
but
time?
yeah.
My buddy was like, "Oh, do you want to try the self-driving?" And I was like, "Sure, okay, whatever." And
Yeah.
so we're just in Wisconsin, and it's actually his parents, right? So
Sure.
I mean, oh well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm riding in a Tesla, right? Model S, and we're just driving down his street and whatever, and it's not a very busy street, but he's not doing like a damn thing. It's just doing itself. Like stop sign comes up, it stops, and I was like, this is stupid. And then you got your giant, basically TV screen right there
Yep.
in the center.
Yeah.
Everything on the inside is like super slick. It's super comfortable. It's
See, I've never been like anywhere near a Tesla. Like I look at them and like I don't see door handles, and I'm like, how does that work? Like, I sound
They
dumb
open
when I say that.
automatically.
It's like, is there like a button that you like? push?
the handle itself is a button. You like push it in, and that's how it opens.
Because I think you push it in and then it sticks out and you pull on
Yeah.
it,
We're
right?
doing like
yeah.
hand motions, like the people can see what we're doing. I don't know what to do though. I mean, like,
yeah.
if, I just feel like if I got in a car that I wasn't driving, that I would just like people would be like, oh, I'd fall asleep if I wasn't driving the car. I was
Right.
driving. I'd be like so nervous. I'd be like, this car's gonna kill me. Like it's gonna be some Terminator stuff. This car's gonna drive
It's
me
not
off the
gonna
cliff.
see something this one time or
Right,
whatever.
that's why I thank Siri every time I ask her a question. I'm like, thanks Siri, I'm a good one. Don't kill me in the future.
Because my question too is, I mean, it should obviously see pedestrians, but like,
Yeah.
what about dogs? I mean, it probably
Right.
still should. I don't know.
Well, they
and
show
then
up as a squirrel, and it's like, yeah, no,
like,
it's not
this
worth it.
huge question. Like, all right, if you have self-driving on and like your car hits a person, like whose fault is it? Is it the person's
Yeah.
fault? Is it the car's fault?
And
That's
there's
like
been
a good
instances
driver.
of that
Yeah,
too,
sure.
Yeah.
but I don't even know what the end result was.
Right, I
But you
don't
see all
know,
these
dude.
crashes and
Yeah,
stuff too.
if it's in self-drive mode, like how quickly can you turn that off and like take control?
I
Like,
gotta
can you-
imagine it's like I didn't like figure this part out, but I gotta imagine it's like cruise control, maybe like hit the brake or hit the
Yeah,
button
is
or
it like-
Just gonna
something.
say that.
Is it like
Yeah.
auto run in Fortnite? If you click a button or something like that.
And when you
stop
were
running?
self-driving it, did you have to keep both hands on the steering wheel?
I was in the passenger seat. He was sitting
Okay.
there like hands on his lap. Just,
So
like,
no
looking at me.
hands.
He sits there like pulls his phone out of his pocket. Like,
Do you pick the speed and then it
Yeah, you
speeds
can
up
pick
and
the
down?
speed,
Or?
yeah, you
okay.
pick the
So
speed.
could you
whatever.
literally take a nap?
You could, and there's videos of it too.
But you're not
Oh, you're
supposed
not
to. Like
supposed to.
Tesla, like they're really active about that. Like just because it's self-driving, like, you still have to be alert. You have to be aware. And if like you fall asleep and like somebody sees you, like if a police officer sees you asleep behind the wheel of a Tesla, even though it's
Yeah,
driving itself,
so
you can get
grab
pulled
you
over
and-
for like
I
distracted
believe
driving.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Pull
perfect
you over
sense.
if
Yeah.
you're asleep, you won't even see the lights.
Yeah, well,
Does it pull over for cop cars? Or
I-
does it just
no,
keep
I-
driving?
maybe it does, but I imagine like they'll like
You're
come
getting
up.
in a high-speed chase. You don't even know it.
yeah.
BOJ
You wake up,
Simpson
there's
all over
20
again.
cops,
A
yeah.
low high-speed chase with the Tesla that's driving itself. The driver seems to be asleep.
You're sitting there. You got like 8 guns trained on you, and then they send a fur missile through the window. And now you're just getting bit by a canine. You're like, dude, I was just like,
Firm missile.
I was just bagging a couple of Z's. And now they like sick Fido on me.
Bro, I would hate to get bitten by a canine.
Oh yeah, but think about that situation. How would you guys react if you guys were just asleep behind the wheel of a Tesla and all of a sudden you got like a million cops around you because you're in a police? How would you react if you guys got pulled over?
I would pinch myself immediately and be like, "Is this a dream?"
Huh? I mean, like
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, I guess you just wake up and take it at that point. I mean, you fucked up, huh?
right. And like
But if a dog came through the window, I don't know
Yeah,
what you do at
yeah.
that point.
it's like I just gotta roll over and take it at that point. But
Yeah.
like, it's like begs the question like you just argue like yeah no I got like a sleepwalking problem. I just got in the car and started going. Sleep driving is a real
I
issue
was in my bed
nowadays.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I read something actually that if you sleepwalk past the age of 14, you're ineligible to be in the military.
You are.
Because
Yep.
it's like
Really?
a sign of a really serious mental
Yeah,
problem.
when I was in basic, we had this one dude whose name that I will not disclose. We called him Logi.
Joey.
Joe.
Joey.
Yeah,
It's Joe.
We'll call him
Brian Joe.
Joe. Yeah, we'll call him Joe. Yeah, he. Oh my God, it was probably the most scared I've ever been in my military career ever to this day.
Okay.
And I was sitting, and we have this thing called fire guard. We have to have 2 guys up at all times at night while people are sleeping. You go on hour shifts and whatever.
Mm.
And I'm sitting at this desk, just trying not to fall asleep while everybody else around me is sleeping. And all of a sudden, like I see Joe stand up, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. He's probably just going to use the head or whatever. And he just stands up and like starts facing his locker, and then he walks out in front of my desk, turns around, walks back, and just starts facing the wall, like away from me. So I'm looking at his back right now. And I'm just like,
That's some Blair Witch shit.
I was
right
like-
there. How about
Yeah.
that?
I was like, Joe, you good, buddy? And he just starts like bouncing up and down like
Oh,
frantically.
no.
He's like, not okay, not okay, not okay, not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. I'm like, Joe, what's
Jesus.
going on? And he like his whole body stays facing the wall, but he like breaks like full on like exorcist shit, like turns his whole head around to look at me with just like this like demonic like snarl looking face almost. And I was like, oh my God. And then my buddy wakes up and he like snaps him out of it, and he ended up going home like the next day because like our drill sergeant walked in like right as it was happening and caught him. So if you're sleepwalking or like sleep talking or
Right,
sleep
yeah.
yelling, like you get
You gotta think about like
Yeah.
if you're
You can
if you're
get
on a
kicked out.
deployment, you're outside the wire, you're in the shit. You're camped out in some I don't know.
You
what
have
they do.
weapons.
Yeah. Right, you're
Right.
camped out somewhere. You got the enemy X amount of meters in front of you, something like that. You get up sleepwalking or you're yelling or stuff like that. You're gonna give away
Yeah.
your position.
Or
you're
True.
gonna
yeah,
get
you
yourself
walk out
killed.
of the patrol base and nobody sees you
Didn't think
for
about it
some
like
reason.
that.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
sees you for some reason, and you start walking back. And we have challenge and passwords that like when people are coming back into the patrol base, they'll have to give a challenge word, and then we have to reply with the password.
What's 2 + 2? 5. Whatever.
Yeah, you can use numbers.
Sure.
So things like
Flash Thunder and World
yeah,
War
like
II.
Flash Thunder. Everyone's heard that one, or like Star. Whatever one was in Modern Warfare 2. But
Sure.
but we also have like number combinations where it's like, all right, it has to be. You have to answer with like
odd
what
number.
equals 5. So like the dudes can be running back and they'll yell 3, and then we'll yell 2 because that equals 5, right? So let's say they're coming back and we give them the challenge word, like say it's like say for sake of conversation we yell crash. And then they keep walking at us and they yell crash, and we yell crash, and they don't yell thunder back. You're like, all right, we don't know who's walking up in our patrol base. Warning shot. They don't flinch from the warning shot. It's like, well, you are dying with more holes than you were born with.
Yeah.
And it's all because some dude, started sleepwalking, walked out of the patrol base, and we didn't catch it.
There's this thing that's like you have to give like where you're going, what you're doing, and how long you'll be gone.
That's called the Gatwa.
The Gatwa. It's the standard for like if you're going anywhere, like if you're going to even just take a piss, what you're doing, where you're going, how long you'll be gone,
And who
you
you're
take
bringing
somebody
with you.
with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Isn't
Makes sense.
Is it a myth or is it a fact that you're not supposed to wake somebody who's sleepwalking?
You are not supposed to.
Yeah. It's not even about like it'll do like it could do psychological damage. It just kind of depends on like who you are as a person.
Imagine you being in a really, really deep sleep.
Yeah.
And somebody's like shaking you awake, and the first thing
you're
that
in a
you
different
feel,
place.
Yeah, the first thing that you feel when you wake up is you getting shaken. You might get a little bit scared, and people tend to get really violent as soon as they wake up.
It's like fight or
being
flight.
shaken. It's fight or flight.
Fight or flight immediately kicks in. So you don't know if it's going to be fight or
I
flight.
am a flightless bird.
Right.
Well, at the same time, you don't know if that sleepwalker is just gonna grab a grenade and there your whole place goes, or walk out in the middle or walk out of the tent and there's
give our whole
enemies,
position away.
and there's enemies 2 meters away or whatever,
Right, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
So there's a lot of factors going into it. I don't know if it's changed now. It's where if like you sleepwalk or sleep talk or whatever, where you're just not fit for a combat role or a line role. You might be able to go into some desk job or intelligence or something like that, where you don't go out necessarily always go out into the field for like combat missions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you wake up just standing up, there's a knife in your hand that's covered in blood.
And
you're like,
it's some movie type stuff.
what the fuck?
Well, it's like the new Moon Knight series, you know? You guys ever seen
No.
So in the first
don't have Disney
episode,
Plus.
it's amazing.
It's really good.
Someone give me their password.
I could, but yeah.
Don't need it.
In the first,
I should.
yeah, in the first episode, so it takes place in the body of Stephen Grant, which is one of Mark Spector's personas that he developed. And when he is bouncing between personalities, so he originally developed 4 personalities, the one
you're
obviously
getting
being
too
Moon Knight. No. And then it's Mark Spector, Jake Lockley, and Stephen Grant. When he's bouncing back and forth between these personalities...
On purpose or no?
Well, no,
Obviously,
no,
I gotta watch it.
Before he did. In the
like
comics,
personality disorder.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
comics, he could control who he was being, but when he was balancing all 4 of those personalities, he had a mental breakdown because of the stress of his job, and that developed multiple personalities.
Connected them all and they
Right.
just flip on a
So
switch.
so when he's in a different personality, he doesn't remember what he did in the personality before that.
Sure.
So when he gets into these tense situations where he has to fight these people, when he's Stephen Grant, he can't do anything. And when he turns into Mark Spector, who's this Golden Glove boxer, former Marine, mercenary who can fight all these people, he doesn't remember it. So like he'll like stutter and seize a little bit, and then he'll come right back into it. He's like covered in blood. He has no idea what happened.
Sure.
And I just imagine in that kind of position, if I woke up and there was blood all over me, I would probably have a mental breakdown. I'd be like,
Yeah,
what did I
that's
do?
pretty normal.
Who did I hurt? Could
cry.
I like curb stomp a kid or
Like
something
some
like that?
YNW Melly type shit.
Yeah,
I would cry.
That brings a great question. This is super random, but so there's a Netflix show that I have on my watch list. It's kind of the same thing. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8 personalities, and he's tried for murder, just like Melly, right? He claims it's a different person.
Right, yeah.
They don't remember anything. Because they're not the same people, or whatever. In that kind of situation, do you think that person's even guilty of the crime at that point, or
I don't
what?
know. I don't even know how you would like prosecute against that. Like if the guy legitimately, if you have like definitive evidence or DNA or whatever saying the guy committed it,
Right.
obviously that's probably going to go a long way to saying, all right, well we have your like DNA here on the murder
Let's
weapon,
see
whatever, but you can't prove it. Like, oh, I have no recollection of this. Like, well, your DNA's here. And
I believe they do treat it differently. Like they process it like
you have a mental disorder.
They process
Yeah,
it as
probably.
an insanity plea.
a plea for insanity. Yeah. that's
Yeah,
what I
like
was-
have you guys ever seen JCS on YouTube?
Yeah.
And he did the kid who did the what is it? Nikolai who did the school shooting. This
Oh,
JCS
yes,
video.
yeah,
And
the-
that kid, he tries to pretend he's insane, like he has voices in his
Nick
head, but they
Cruz?
know that he's fucking
Yeah,
like,
Nick
they
Cruz.
know
I
that he's
saw
just-
that video actually.
Yeah, Nick Cruz. That's what it is.
There was like
Yeah.
a psychiatrist who he put out a YouTube
They watch
video
the
and it's
tapes and they know that
he
he's doing it on
titled it
purpose.
Someone pretending to be
Yeah,
crazy.
what's up?
Yeah,
Pretending
yeah,
to
he's
be
in,
crazy.
like he's in like the interrogation room or whatever, and they
Looks
send
around,
people.
sees
He's
the
looking
camera.
around.
He sees the camera. He's like, okay, time to put on. My
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's totally
Like he's
fucking
totally
around.
chill. Like before everybody walks in, and then they walk in, and he starts doing all this like
Yeah.
wacky stuff.
Did you ever see that video of him in prison, like just like stomping around all mad, then like just seeing someone else and just going up and beating the shit out of him?
No.
Yeah, it happened like a year ago. He was like in, you know how prisons, like the cells are up here and then there's like the little cafe area.
Right, yeah.
And Cruz is like walking around like,
You got cafes in prisons now. Fuck, what do I gotta do to get
well,
arrested?
That's the life, dude.
hey, like,
Free Starbucks?
Why do you think
Yeah.
people in Norway are like, yeah, I don't care if I murder someone, he'll get treated good.
Well,
It's like
yeah.
going to a
Right,
hotel.
That's just different systems, though, too.
Right.
Some countries countries have it. I don't want to say better than the U.S., but
Right.
some definitely have it way fucking worse
Yeah, if
too.
you cage people like animals, they're gonna act like animals.
Yeah, you
I
go-
just think the
right,
prison
yeah.
system's a little messed up.
That's
in
a
that
whole
sense,
nother
you know?
can of. Yeah, we don't get
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But,
True.
oh, we got the video right here. Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Look at him. He's got his head down. He's having a
He's
rough
not a
time.
happy camper. I wouldn't be happy either if I got sent to prison for
At
being
19.
This is
an
the same
evil-
dude. This is
Yeah.
the same dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a happy camper if I got sent to prison for
Yeah.
being an evil son of a bitch. But oh well.
Oh
Yeah,
my
look, he
God.
just goes up to him and just
Yeah, he just runs right up to him and is just like throwing up against tables and all that.
Dude, he's just trying to show everyone, I am crazy.
I don't know. There's nothing you're gonna do about it now. No,
Yeah.
yeah, you're done.
He was trying to
You're
prove
done.
it, I think.
Nah,
Yeah.
he deserves to be there.
Yeah, I remember that day. I was at it was Valentine's Day, and I was out on a date with someone, and I just got the update on my phone. I was like, what a lovely day to show love to people by putting bullets through their bodies.
There you go.
Nothing says I love you than shooting someone.
Well, yeah.
Well, we got two final random questions here. My first one, and then I'll leave Nico off to end the episode with his
Oh, boy.
ball buster of a question.
Oh, yeah, I can get that.
My first question here, I was thinking of something nostalgic we could maybe talk about.
Okay.
Favorite video game during the PS3, Xbox 360 days?
Spider-Man.
Back in the old.
It's gotta be the Spider-Man, yeah.
Okay,
I
which
just-
one?
which one?
Which one was that?
It's wait no, that was PS2. Never mind. When you were swinging around and like the background
Yeah,
had the grid
Spider-Man
on it.
PS2,
yeah,
yeah,
Spider-Man
that's pretty
PS.
good, yeah.
That's not the right one.
That's fine though. But
PS2,
okay.
yeah, that's
Wow, I don't even know.
Like,
Honestly, the
Call-
original Red Dead Redemption and then
That one's
the
pretty
Undead
good.
Nightmare version of that. I would
Yeah,
probably
Nightmare's a
say.
really great DLC
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
what was it? Was it Black Ops 2 had zombies?
Yeah, but
Black Ops 1 did.
True. Black Ops 2 was my
Black
favorite.
Ops 2 was my
Yeah.
jam.
Absolutely.
That was my
100%.
best game.
That was,
Two?
Yeah, two
Yeah, I would
was my
also
best
even
game.
say like Halo 1 or 2.
I hate Halo.
Oh, I hate you.
yeah, I can't keep my eyes on
Yeah,
that.
it's
Fighting
never
words,
big into
really.
Halo.
I loved Halo, like growing up doing LAN parties and stuff. Me and all my buddies would, Mom, I want to go to my buddy's house. We'd bring our Xboxes, hook up to one LAN, and we'd just play Capture the Flag. And then eventually we got older and got into high school. Like, all right, we're bringing all of our old Xboxes over, and we're just getting fucked up and
Yep.
playing Capture the Flag.
Yep.
That was my life.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's fun as fuck.
I actually still have my 360. It's
Same.
It's
Yep.
Gears of War 3 Special
Oh,
Edition.
nice.
So yeah.
Assassin's Creed, I love the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah.
too.
Those are
Assassin's
good.
Creed 2.
Yeah.
See, I like
Yeah.
the stories, but it's just such an easy game.
It is.
Yeah,
and
This
it's,
one
like,
is so
You
easy.
just didn't think about it like that when you were a
It's
kid,
just
though.
button
Yeah.
mashing to kill
Yeah.
somebody.
it's
You know,
repetitive
it's
too, you know, like the story, the fight styles, kind of.
Yeah, but no, now you
got
gotta think about it. You gotta think about it
Yeah.
back when.
And also,
you know,
it
we were,
was
like,
innovative at its time.
Oh
At its
yeah,
time.
no,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. Think about it back at like 9 or 10
But
years
now they're,
old.
like,
You're getting
trying to-
thrown
yeah.
into history, and you just get to fuck up the redcoats. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I
They're
played.
not doing it that
I
horse,
played
I feel like.
Odyssey, but I didn't play Origins, the one in Egypt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Origins was not good. I did.
No, Origins was good.
No, it was not.
I liked Origins.
I hate
Odyssey was pretty good.
I've heard a lot of
Odyssey's
the
really
a lot of the recent games, Origins, Valhalla, Odyssey. I think that I've heard the right mix. Like there are people who love them, and there are people who
Yeah.
hate them.
I like Valhalla too. But I couldn't get through the whole
Didn't
thing
play
because like
Valhalla.
at this point it's just like beating a dead horse. It's just the same game, and I like like the design of the game, but I think just at my point in life, I played too many of them to
Yeah, I
enjoy
think
them
that's just
anymore.
kind of happens for a lot of people.
I think my all-time favorite is Black Flag.
That was
Black
yeah.
Black Flag, I think
As the
was
pirate
like
one?
the end
Yep.
of
Yep.
really good ones.
That was
on a
great.
ship, and then you're the captain. You go,
Yeah.
let's hear a tune, sailors.
Right.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we
And then
do?
we got like sea shanty TikTok. Or whatever. That's pretty good. I thought they were gonna kind of redo it with Odyssey because I think Odyssey out of all the newer ones that came out is the best one.
I've heard
What's,
Odyssey is really
what's
good.
the worst game you've ever played?
Worst game I've ever
'Cause mine-
Blade.
mine-
The Blade series. I don't remember. It was about like the Marvel hero Blade, and it was just I didn't even think it was about the Marvel hero. It was like some ninja type thing that I didn't really
the
expect.
monsters?
Yeah, I don't know. It was
I
it was
bought
called
that for $5 at a friggin' what did the old festival used to be?
oh
Kmart.
Yeah,
I bought it for like $2 in like a giant box
Jeez.
or like a giant bin. There's just random.
it
video
looked
games in
cool.
there.
It looked really cool, and then it just ended up being like this awful ninja out of left field weird game. I did not like it.
Weird.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember. This is a
I
hard
can't
one.
think of a
I can't
bad
think
game.
of one. I
either.
think
The worst
it's
game
really
I've
bad.
ever played
I
was
think any
Sonic
game I think is
06.
really bad. It's
Sonic.
probably wiped before I
Oh
know it.
boy.
The most
Was what?
glitched Sonic the Hedgehog in
I
2006.
remember that.
I think
So many glitches.
I think the best of the worst. It's like one of the best of the worst games. Skate 3.
Yep.
Skate
I never really
3,
played
like,
Skate.
I
it
think
was-
Skate 3 is considered a pretty
It's just
good
a classic,
game.
I feel
Well, it's a
like.
great
so-
game, but it was the glitches and everything that
I mean, it
was
was a little
wrong with
messy
it. It was
sometimes, I
really
guess.
messy, but that's what made it really
Tell
fun.
me if you guys.
That's
tell
what
me
made
if
it
you
good
guys-
almost.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
which one? This game, I couldn't beat it.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed it,
I beat it.
and I enjoyed doing the races against my brother and stuff like that. It was a really glitchy game, and it wasn't like Skate 3 where the glitches make the game amazing.
Yeah.
It was
just
It was just annoying.
it just got you killed, and it just stopped you from progressing, and it was just
Yeah,
awful.
like in the first stage, Wave Ocean, because I'm very serious about my Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Oh, yeah.
Wave
Are you?
Ocean.
This
There's
is new to me. This is
yeah,
news.
my background. Wave Ocean, the beach was here, and then there was this little bit of water. If you walked 2 feet into the water and we're still ankle deep, you would die.
Yeah. And the Tails sound effect when he died is just whoa. It was awful.
That's pretty
It was so annoying, and I don't know. It was just it was I wanted to beat it and I wanted to like it because I remember loving Sonic as a kid and stuff like that, and I still do. But yeah, that game was pain.
Yeah, the Sonic games have had a pretty rough history. They have really great games and then they have really bad games.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with the movie. Just the entire fan base bullied an entire production team
Yeah,
into
animation,
changing his appearance.
Yeah, it was an awful design at
It
first.
was really bad.
It looked like
though.
it looked like a fucking anorexic skunk. That was blue.
Yeah, it was.
Did you guys ever play the video game Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
I think
Simpsons
that's my
GTA,
favorite
yeah.
video game of all time. It was like GTA but less gory.
Yeah, it
Yep.
was goofy,
You
yeah.
could run people over and
It
they
was
just
fun.
wouldn't die.
cartoon
Yeah.
GTA.
Right? Yeah. No, it was. It was Simpsons GTA.
I heard that
Exactly
they're.
what it was.
I heard they're gonna remaster it.
I think
They
that-
better.
I would love that.
Add it to the Switch or
That'd be
something.
smart, yeah.
I remember playing that on the GameCube.
Oh, I think I know what I want to do
Switch
tomorrow.
has Switch Sports now,
My
Wii
old-
Sports.
My
What?
old,
Switch Sports. Yeah.
my old boss at Coburn's told me there's a video game store right across the river near Target that sells all these vintage. They sell Nintendo 64s, GameCube,
shit.
Wii's,
Really?
Game Boy Advances. And I'm like, this sounds too good to be true. I think I'm gonna take a drive over there tomorrow and see what all the hubbub
I
is
would
about.
love a
Yeah,
If
GameCube.
I see a GameCube and it's under $100,
I can-
sold.
Good
That
luck.
little,
Probably
that
about
little,
100 bucks should be
game
alright.
store that's right next to the Target in the mall. They had one there for $120.
Yeah, but
And
then
I
if you
didn't
wanted
do exam-
Super Mario Party, what
It's
was
like
it,
$100.
$5? It was
Yeah,
like
bro,
$115.
they're
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. So you're dropping $300 some on the console game.
Two
and
games.
enough
Just-
controllers to have fun with.
Just to satisfy your
Yeah.
childhood memories.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a
If
Because
I
they're
were to-
collector's items now.
If I could
Yep.
get a GameCube and get one game to replay, I would get Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
100%.
Okay.
I'd get Mario Kart Double Dash.
There
That
you go.
one
Yep.
was
Yep.
dope.
I liked that game, but I'm not really into racing games.
That's fair.
Really
That's
not.
fine.
I don't like
They're definitely hit and
Forza.
miss. Wow.
You don't like Forza?
Forza's
You
okay.
just drive in a car. I can go
Yeah,
outside and
that's-
get my car. and
Well, yeah,
drive
it's
myself.
That's not the same.
Yeah, no,
That
I
is
can't.
not the same.
No, because you can't drift through the streets of Italy Here, I mean, you could.
I was gonna say you could have 2 weeks ago.
You could have 2 weeks ago, but you cannot drift through the streets of Italy virtually unpunished. You know, like you crash into like a building or something like that, it just restarts you. But if you crash into a building in real life, you gotta answer to a few people. You know?
There's a couple more hoops you're gonna have to go through to figure it out. Yeah, you can't just hop in, into a McLaren or a freaking Ferrari and just have your fun on the regular.
Open it up.
You know, I just look back. I look at this generation of children, and I just look at them all and say, I feel so bad for you. You missed everything good. Like, remember Cartoon Network when we were kids?
There's
all the shows we had. I saw on Facebook, it was just like, I feel bad for this childhood generation. It shows Cartoon Network with all the old shows.
Right.
I see kids
Just
next
redoing
door.
all
I
the
see
new
kids.
shows. Well,
That's probably why we're so fucked up.
Well,
Return the slave.
and that's the next thing. I mean, we kind of talked about the Oscars are losing viewership, right? But I would say a lot of it's because people don't have cable anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I've watched cable. Yeah, it's all
exactly.
streaming. All the kids are watching
Netflix.
Coco Melon on
Right.
Netflix, right? Whatever. I don't know, but Netflix has so many children's shows. You have no idea.
Yeah.
I do because I look through them and they're funny as shit when it's like 1 a.m. and I'm high as dick. But anyways,
Well, yeah. Speaking of kids, here's a.
I'm
question
having one.
for you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
No.
hey, congratulations.
The title of this video is going to be a Noah's baby announcement. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, nice. All right.
No,
well,
I'm just teasing.
there we go. I'm having a kid.
Justin's the father.
Single dad, no kids. Speaking of kids, though,
Yep.
here's a question for you guys. How many kindergartners could you guys take in a fight before being overpowered? Now, before you guys give your answer, here's the ramifications that come with that. You have plan and prep time, right? Like some Rainbow Six Siege type stuff. You got plan and prep.
So I can like set booby traps and shit, or what?
Well,
you are
we'll get to that. Yeah, you have
okay.
five little demon children are released about every
crotch
little ankle biters are released every 30 seconds in a completely empty classroom. We'll say 40 feet by 20 feet in a standard classroom, right?
Okay.
How many of these kids could you overpower? And in order to have them be considered done, you have to knock them out. Okay.
You have to
knock them out.
Well, they're kindergartners. How hard could that be?
5 kindergartners every 30 seconds, and you have to knock them out, and then their bodies disappear. They don't just pile up. Okay, it's like a video game kind of. How many kindergartners could you take down before they overpower you?
And what was the part about the ankle biters?
That's just
That's
what
just
they
them.
are.
They will kick
Yeah,
you, they
they're
will
gonna
punch
fuck
you,
you
they
up,
will
man.
scratch you, and they will bite you.
And are we talking about an empty classroom or it has
Empty
all the
class-
desks
Empty
and-
class, because that's what I thought. I was like, I'll just put on Coco Melon and take care of like 2 or 3 of the idiots.
No, I would just say I'd
But no,
take a
it's an-
chair and just fucking...
No, empty
No,
classroom.
empty
You got
classroom.
You got hands and feet.
All right, Justin, you're first.
So my only concern is my cardio, because I don't really run anymore.
That's
or
a fair
anything like
statement.
that.
These things are like, yeah, it
Every
is.
30 seconds, but, I mean, are we talking like a kindergartner that...
No
has
NFL prospects. We're talking like
Like
kids 2
little
feet tall.
kids.
Like knee high to a grasshopper, little kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could, until my stamina gives out, I'd probably... But then again, I wouldn't really be using much because...
They're little kindergartners. You just gotta Spartan
Every
kick
30
them,
seconds, there's 5 of these bitches,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
that's a
I
pretty
think
fast.
And their
that would-
sole
that's pretty
intent,
fast,
their
dude.
intent is to fucking kill you.
But they don't have any like extensive powers. They're just kindergartners.
They're
Okay?
just kids.
They're just little boys and girls. Okay.
So if they like knock me down, are they just gonna like play patty cake with my face?
I mean, that's kind of
No,
like
they're-
to be determined. You know, I mean, like.
Are they gonna come down and just start wailing?
You're asking too many questions, Justin.
It just depends on how many kids you can take out in a specific amount of time. Because I can imagine like 5 kindergartners not going to do a whole lot of damage. But if you start slacking off and you get like 30, 40, 50 kindergartners on you, I imagine they'd be able to do some damage.
of justice is unisex.
I think
Equal rights, equal
I think
rights.
I would get up to like 80 or 90.
Okay.
That's
Really?
pretty crazy.
That's
I
it?
don't know about that. Like,
Whoa.
80
I don't have
no.
any cardio.
Okay,
we'll
well,
take it
all
down.
right.
Bro, I was going to
Especially
say...
if 5 are
I think
respawning
maybe
every
3 or
30
4 rounds.
seconds.
I was going to
And if
say,
you don't
yeah.
take them out in the 30 seconds, do they stay?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
they
it's
say.
like-
Yeah, no, you have in order to defeat them, you have
You
to
gotta
knock them
out or
out.
kill them.
Here's what I am doing. This is what I am doing, right? I think I can make triple digits, right?
I mean, you got the background.
I am okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
I am a pretty physically fit individual, right? Here's what I'm doing. I am taking a kid by the pushing a kid over, right? I'm not gonna knock him out right away because I need him or her. I'm gonna grab him by the ankles,
Preferably
kinda
the biggest
slap
one.
him out like
Yeah.
you're trying to get wrinkles out of a t-shirt. And I'm gonna start hitting kids with another kid.
Like a windmill type shit.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Swing
mean,
in a circle.
like a
Cyclone
pillow
of death.
fight,
Yeah.
except
Or a
I'm
top,
using,
yeah.
except I'm using like little Karen's kid or something.
I can
And
see that
So to get to
working.
triple digits, that would just be 10 minutes of straight
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
endless waves. Of
Yeah,
kids.
and I would know that my use of the first kid is done when it simply vanishes from my hands, and then I
You
have
grab
to get
another
kid.
one. Yeah.
Because it's just gone. Like if I hit, you know, like little Susie Jane, whatever, with like Billy Bob or whoever the fuck I'm holding on to, and all of a sudden, like, you know, bam, knock one kid out, disappears, and all of a sudden I don't have a kid in my hand. I know that I just knocked 2 kids out.
But,
It's true.
Is there like a fear factor in place though? Like you got like say you got 3 left over from the first wave, right?
Yeah.
And they see what you're doing to like the next 5 come in. They see.
I'd
what
have
you're
to
doing the
imagine.
other 3.
Oh, I don't know. Their sole intent is to
Yeah,
just
okay,
kill
yeah,
you.
I'm asking
I
too
think
different.
they're blind zombies running
See,
in.
I think
Right.
all I'd have to do is like it's like gonna be like some It stuff. You ever seen It Chapter 2? You know.
Yeah.
Like you just like kind of bully that. Okay, so in It Chapter 2, the way they beat the Pennywise is they just make fun of him, you know?
Yeah, they
And then
bully him,
his ego like
You're
can't
fat.
take it. You know, he's like, you're an ugly gun, you're stupid, and then he literally just like shrinks down. Is like, oh no, and just like it's. I feel like I could like do some like psychological damage, but I'm also
I feel
afraid.
like I can hurt their feelings.
Yeah, I'm also afraid of like biological warfare at this point. Like these
Oh my
kindergartners
God.
are
Yeah.
gonna like spit on me and do like all this weird stuff. But I'm
I'd
just
be like, shut up, kid. I'm gonna fuck your mom so I can give her a son she's actually proud of.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's the one response.
I have a modified scenario for Noah.
Okay.
Same exact scenario, but instead of little kids, it's clowns. I know.
Oh
I
my
know you're
god!
terrified
I know.
of
Okay, yeah,
clowns.
I'm terrified of clowns and puppets, but not to the point where like I'd run away and cower. It'd be like you get jump scared, and like some people's first response is to drop that person like full in like a
Yeah.
lawn chair. Like if a clown started running at me and my like it was trying to like hurt me and stuff like that, I'd give him the old Ray Rice 1-2 and drop his ass right there. I'm not scared enough to run away from them. I'm gonna like lose my mind. I'm gonna see red, and I'm not gonna stop until he is laying on the pavement.
You just wail one, it just goes.
If I hit that clown though and it squeaks, I'm done. I'm out.
That's what I was gonna
would
ask, if it
collapse
squeaks.
right there. I would collapse.
But
I'd be like, yeah, you
what's their
bested
like?
me.
What's their like footwear like? Like they got the big floppy clown shoes on.
Yeah.
them?
Oh, okay, well, yeah,
so
then he's probably a mobile.
We're a little more.
And-
Yeah, he's
and
about
they
as.
show up in that tiny ass little car, and those 5 spawn from that 5.
Oh,
from
that'd
that
be pretty
little car.
terrifying. That's awful. Yeah, but so like, well, yeah, I mean, regardless, if 5 little demon people were, I would, especially if it's kindergartners. I mean, all you'd have to do is Spartan kick them, and like and they're like up to your knees. So even then, you just raise a knee pretty forcefully.
Give them the Masvidal, right?
Yeah, and then like
Fucking
maybe
fly,
they're
man.
like, yeah,
You
they're
don't
like,
even need to fly. You could just stand
lift
and
it. You
do
just
it.
gotta
My
yeah,
superpower.
lifting knee,
My
yeah.
superpower is the
It's not
ability
just
to punch a baby so hard it doesn't even cry.
Oh my.
That's some scary shit.
that's rough. But yeah, I
That's
mean.
powerful.
I mean, I'd also probably take my shoes off and put them on my hands, just so like if I do end up using my hands, I don't like get bit or something like that.
Are you gonna slip with your socks on though?
I gotta
I
imagine
think
like they
so,
still got a
should be
soft
alright.
spot in their
Should
head or
be
something,
pretty
just aimed
Oh
there.
yeah.
I think
Just
I
do a
could.
little axe kick.
I think I could go for a good couple of hours and maybe hit the quadruple digits. You know.
You think you could hit
I
triple?
probably no
But
quadruple. I
every
get
30
four numbers.
Thinking like
seconds,
thousands.
What?
cardio is going to play a
Yeah,
factor.
I think.
Yeah.
think
I don't
you'll
see myself
balance-
getting past
Eventually-
like 25
eventually
years
you're
in a
gonna
row.
fall.
Get
over.
big
I don't think
quick.
so.
So if
For me,
we're
anyway.
let's see here, we're gonna do 1,000.
How about we go to the elementary school and try it out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hey, make a good TikTok video.
So yeah, like if I wanted to get to 1,000,
Probably not for the right
That's
reason.
content right
That's
there,
content.
bro.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Do it for the vibe.
Yeah, getting to 1,000. That's only like 3 hours and like 3 hours. Yeah. it's not-
3 hours.
It's a long time, dude.
Well, yeah, but so
Yeah.
here's the thing.
That's only 3 hours to punch
that's,
a kid.
that is.
That's
Yeah, it's like
It's
3
a normal
hours.
day for me.
3.3 hours.
110
It's 3.3
minutes.
hours. But if I take care of some of these kids quick enough, I can't imagine they're all of the same stature. I might have like a couple of seconds to collect myself. And I mean, maybe I tie my shoes together and make some like.
Yeah, this
makeshift
isn't like Mortal
nunchucks.
Kombat where you got a stamina bar or nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it
I mean,
is.
I'm
everybody has a
just
stamina bar
sheer
in a way,
willpower.
Yes.
It's just running at you. You're tired. You just put your hand on it. It's like a.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I mean, there's a lot that I could do.
There's a lot that you could definitely do in that scenario. Let us know how many minutes you would last in the comments below.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's about it for this one, I think. We pretty much much covered everything we wanted to tag and talk about in this one. Thanks to the twins, Noah and Nico, for joining us for this special episode.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. As always, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell as well for notifications. Make sure to hit that Spotify heart, turn it green to follow us on there as well if you're listening to us on Spotify podcasts. Thanks again for listening as always, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it. I got that new whip. Jose the do trip. I like how she move it. I like how she move it.